Hello, my name is Butterwaffle, and today I present to you a video about Project Zomboid. Now for starters, I have been trying to come up with ways to tackle a Project Zomboid video. I don't think I have the gamer's commentary yet, so I'll be holding off on any series. Though, I did decide to revisit one idea I had but never expanded upon. I'm trying my buttery hands on psychology. Well, more of letting my mind wander in a theme that lingers in the background of Project Zomboid. Ambiguous amphibian? You might want to strap in. First off, I want to give a quick summary of Project Zomboid and my overall opinion of the game. I believe it to be the best zombie survival simulator to date. This game is very complex with its features, survival tactics, zombies, weather system, etc. It takes survival very seriously, and that is what makes the game enjoyable. It has a learning curve, so newcomers usually last maybe a few days or even a week before succumbing to whatever natural or unnatural threats. Slowly you begin to understand the do's and don'ts of the game, making you smarter, more careful, and overall a better survivor. Then people see their games jump from only a week or two to a month or even a year. The game has a way of making each playthrough refreshing and unique, with mods being supported and a pretty good customization menu for the world. You can even customize your survivor with their profession system and positive and negative traits. This completely changes every character's playstyle to an extent. Though, when you begin to become a better survival and make it through the first month more regularly, you are left with a more dangerous problem, one that can't be seen or easily explained. It's the feeling of isolation, depression, a general loss of purpose, and a never-ending cycle. I forgot to mention in my brief overview of the game, you're completely alone. Well, you're meant to be completely alone. You're the last survivor in the world consumed by a plague. Whether you see it as a gift from God, being blessed with the immunity to not be a part of the first wave of infected, you still are alone. It's only you in this world. Beating another person is long out of the question, with interactions dwindling down to fighting the rotting corpses or watching the TV and tuning into the radio, but even then, that too will fade. That too will become a distant memory, a luxury, as you're left with just an automated weather system in the end. When you take a step back and think, is surviving really that important? You're the last man on Earth, with the only familiar face trying to break down your door and feast upon your flesh. Okay, so sometimes I explain emotion with colors. Using colors, it helps put a face on something so unfamiliar. This isolation reminds me of a dark blue. As the blue consumes you, your mind is left to wander. The days seem to blur together, as survival seems less and less important. As you question your own meaning, what meaning does someone have when death is the only thing that awaits them? Just surviving at that point is more depressing than dying. Some people even believe in the afterlife. With that belief, it begins to dawn on you. What's the point there to live to keep your loved ones waiting? This game is a horror game. That's what it's branded and marketed as. Though, outside of the horror-like elements that come with the genre, I find a lot of the horror to be psychological. It's scary that a zombie survival simulator can invoke such real emotions, true isolation, loss and purpose, the idea to just move on. This game is very blunt about the reality of things. This is how you die. There is no happy ending. You either play till the character passes or you yourself move on. Move on to another game or another world of your creation. I know this game isn't meant to be that deep, but then there's the One Painful Year challenge. The One Painful Year challenge got me back into Zomboid. This challenge also let me see a lot more of the psychological effects of being the sole survivor has on someone. I loved watching Cromulent Archer play or interact with Cyber Panda while he plays on stream. It was amazing to see these survivors be put in such harsh conditions with limiting rules and be told, survive a year. I always wondered what was going on inside their head as they approached the deadline. I watched as some try to suppress their boredom and loneliness with streams or just finding creative ways to go about things, occupying themselves with base building and even risky slaughters. With some of those slaughters, I wonder if a small part of them wishes to slip up so that it can just be over, so they themselves can find a purpose in a new game or in a new world. You can tell by their general attitude that they want to finish, but they also want to try something else. Surviving becomes a lot less important, and passing time in whatever ways possible takes center stage. As they try to satiate their gluttonous boredom, they may succumb to whatever they tried to avoid for so long. As the months stretched out and survival became less and less of an issue, Their scramble to create some sort of routine of remedial tasks and basic survival needs began to fill their agenda. Their days just blurred together. There was nothing special about any of them. At the start of your journey, surviving was just a lot more memorable. The want of things to just be over consumes the mind, automatically structuring a routine to lazily follow it as everyday things blur around you. Of course, some opportunities present themselves that reinvigorate the player, recreating memorable days for just a bit until they slowly return to a familiar and mindless cycle. So, what's the point of this video? Well, I thought it'd be nice to shine some light on deeper and more personal aspects that go into surviving in Project Zomboid, exposing that looming isolation and slow descent into the dark blue feeling. It's kind of funny because some of these emotions are very relevant in real life, but are just swept under the rug because it's easier to ignore them than to confront them. People's vision grows muddy or less vibrant as the days go on, because life to them is just surviving, following the same boring routine day in and day out. Days just blur together. The only time they really see the vibrant colors of the world is when, like, an event approaches where it breaks their boring cycle and they can do something they want to do. At that point, we can just consider ourselves zombies. That crippling feeling of isolation, at like you're in a room packed full of people but you still feel alone. At that point, it's like the world around you or the people around you are just zombies, rather be avoided than talked to. Overall loss and purpose in oneself as the days just slog by. The meaning of this video kind of just changed and went loose as my mind began to wander when typing this up. So the takeaway in the end is live life, breathe the fresh air, and notice the beautiful colors of the world. Enjoy the little things and be able to take a step back, be able to try something new to make just surviving more, just living life to the fullest. And when I say living life to the fullest, I don't mean being active and always doing. I mean break the cycle that makes the days blur, make you forget the world is beautiful, and forget what truly matters in life. So yeah, the takeaway is live your life, don't just survive. Little part of the video is not really important to the overall meaning, it's just a little note to anybody's curious. So I kinda just wanted to do something like this to practice how it would go and how I'd edit it, and just get the overall feel of doing something like this, because I do plan on doing this again. I do plan on just letting my mind let loose on something and see what I can find, because I tend to think about things a little differently, and I just take meaning from stuff that might not have any meaning. And I have fun making this, and I hope y'all enjoy. I try to be very creative with everything I put into it. I try to make it thematic. I tried to use color as I describe color in real life, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. It was, again, fun to make, so thanks for watching.